Okay guys, so this is the Airblade Intrepid 5-inch build that I've actually completed a really long time ago. Actually, it was probably around June of this year that I finished this build. And I'm going to show you the photos of the build and everything, parts I put in here, I'll explain all that. Yeah, but the reason this video has been delayed, and I just decided just to go ahead and put the video out, is because this build is pretty much cursed, and there's been nothing wrong with the parts or the frame or everything. It's just every time I go and try to get more flight footage, something's wrong with the GoPro, a corrupted SD card, something like that. So I've tried to get footage for this at least 4 times over the last few months, and it's just been a disaster every time. You guys have actually seen this fly already for the review for the Emax Scimitar prop. I flew this on 4S on these 1700 kV motors. These are some 2207 1700 kV motors from Hobbycool. Yeah, so I will just point you to the video on the Scimitar props. The flight footage is at the end of that video if you want to see us flying around. Flies totally fine. This wasn't meant for like a freestyle sort of quad. It's more like, okay, kind of a cruiser, get really good video. I mean, it's got some good parts on here. This is a pretty good, if you're doing some sort of like long range, mid range on a 5-inch, this is a good frame for that. You could obviously put a GoPro up in front here. We've got some sort of an FXT camera. I'll put the part down in the description. And then I have the T-Motor F4 flight controller on here. I got a nice, what is this, fly color, I think it's called the X-Cross 60 amp 4-in-1 AC, I think it's a 32-bit AC, and I have the Aries, yeah, right there. This is the Aries video transmitter from, I think this is also from FXT, and yeah, the reason I used the Aries video transmitter with the FXT camera, they're both from FXT, is you can use the gesture controls to change the camera settings, and I have another video on where this camera came from, which I forgot the name of. That video will be linked down in the description. You can just basically watch it. It's the same function, except now we have a 30x30 video transmitter. I believe this is like a 1-watt video transmitter. So yeah, then obviously that will give you an idea of how that part works. But you know, I'm not doing long range. I'm not really into long range. I don't fly long range. I just build stuff that could possibly go long range if you want to. And I have GPS here in the back, a little mini GPS. And I found this little 3D printer part somewhere on Thingiverse. I'll link that down in the description as well. This does have return home and all that stuff set up already, but I never bothered to use it. I already know stuff works. And then I put this little part here is a part that I made on Tinkercad. And that's just basically, this is an R9 receiver antenna, and it's like one of the ones without the tubes, or again, not without the, well, it's ones that you need a tube for. So these are just antenna tubes, and this little part here goes in here, and then the two antenna elements go into this little 3D printer part. And so when you're flying away from yourself, you have good reception whether you're going away from yourself or towards yourself. It's only when you're right at in the null point here, that's when the signal will go low, if you're wondering about antenna orientation on something like this. But yeah, I just showed you a bunch of photos on the build. Pretty standard 5-inch build. I just call the wires directly to length, so that makes a nice clean build here, and I show you the build photos. So something like this, you could probably, it's got a really long truck bed here, so you could probably put like a big, maybe 2000 milliamp hour, maybe 2200 milliamp hour 4S, 6S, something like that in here. You can definitely carry a lot of weight around. And so obviously with more battery capacity, you can go for some longer flights to go further away. Obviously something like this would also work for Crossfire if you want. I know that a lot of people are already using this frame for long range. So this is just my build. I know there's already a lot of other builds out there. So if you're considering this frame, check out the parts down in the description. You can kind of duplicate this setup here. It seems to work pretty good. I actually flew, well, I've been flying it with the, I think the default PIDs from Betaflight 4.0, I think it's 4.03 on here now, and no issues. Flies totally fine on 4S. So anyway guys, links to all the stuff I talked about down in the description. if you're looking for additional flight footage and parts and all that stuff, check down in the description. And that's going to do it for this video. I apologize to Airblade. I've been sitting on this thing for so long because I wanted to get more flight footage, but I just don't think that it's meant to be for this guy. Every time I come back home with stuff, something happens to the flight footage and I can't use it, or it's corrupted, or something just bad happens. And for whatever reason, this one has been the worst. I've never had a problem with this before, so really weird. And so that's going to be for this video. And sorry guys, if you're looking for more footage, let me know if you're really interested, and maybe I'll make it happen for a future video. Anyway guys, talk to you later.